Hello everyone, this is Chino Rodriguez, and today I'm going to be covering how to install different versions of a server-based application without having any dependency problems. So let's get started. All right, so in the previous video, I showed you how to install three different instances on the same version without having any problems because it's linked to the config file. And so we're going to leave the old version there, which these three instances are on the same version. And we're going to go ahead and, pretend again that 668 of Notepad++ is a server-based application, even though it's not. And we're going to go ahead and install it. Now, in the real world, if this were a server-based application and it is a different version, in the control panel, you'll notice that there's 667 and also there'll be another entry right below that with 668. Now, because this is a client-based application, it's probably going to overwrite this version. So if you don't see it there, don't worry, that's perfectly normal. And I'm going to go ahead and click next. Again, when you're going through the default, it doesn't matter because the configuration file is going to have all the configurations needed. What you do have to pay attention is the naming convention because it'll go to the last known directory that starts with the same name. So the last one that we created, or I'm sorry, the first one was Akron. So it'll go to that one. And we're just going to rename this and we'll name it version 8. So this will be the new one. Now, the same rule applies as far as new versions. If you have a new version, the very first directory that's created, you don't want to rename because it's registered with that path. And so if you rename it, let's go here back to the local drive. Here where it says version 8, let's say I copied this to create two instances of the same. If I went ahead and let's say I took the original one and renamed this to version 8 Akron and deleted the copy from the bottom to kind of flip-flop, it'll start causing problems because originally when I installed it, this was the naming convention that I gave it to that path. And so when it doesn't see that, it's going to generate errors. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and rename this to version 8 and then we'll say Canton. So we'll pretend that there's a Canton office using the same version but a different database. And this went ahead and already created a shortcut here in the desktop. And so I don't have to go into the directory and create a shortcut from here because it already did it. I'm just going to rename it and we'll name this to version 8. Okay, so now we're going to launch it and it should launch perfectly fine. Now again, like I mentioned, because this is a client-based application, it's going to overwrite it and it's going to re-register it under the new version. So the older applications will still open. They're gonna have whatever updates were registered to the registry, updated to the registry, and it'll launch just fine. But remember, in the real world, there'd be two entries. There'll be the 667 and then the 668. Okay, now that's kind of weird. It showed 667 previously. Let me just refresh this, make sure. Okay, so now it has the latest one, 668. All right, and that's how you install different versions of a server-based application. Thanks for watching.